Looking at our first question, first thing we have to do is work out what this point is here. Where's the point it crosses the x-axis at? Not other point, it's only one point. They're giving you the upper limit, but you've got to work out the lower limit, which is where it crosses the axis. So remember, put y, which is that, equal to 0. That'll give you x equals -1. So you now know that's -1. You get a mark for doing that, okay? So finding that lower limit gets you a mark. Next, what we've got to do is integrate from the lower limit to the upper limit of what they have given us here. Okay, so we have that. If you wrote that down, you got another mark. Okay. We then got to integrate this, which gives us that. Remember, raise the power by 1, divide by the new power. Normally, we'd also divide by the coefficient of x, but that's just 1, so it stays as 4 on the bottom. If you've done between -1 and 2. If you did that, that's another mark. Okay, putting in our numbers. Upper limit first, that's 2 plus 1 to the power 4 over 4. Take away -1 plus 1 power 4 over 4. Plugging in the lower limit. Okay, what that gives you, in fact, you get a mark for doing that as well. That's 0. This is 3 to the power 4, which is 81 over 4. Okay, 81 divided by 4 is 20 1/4. So 20 1/4 square units. 1 mark for your final answer there. So this whole question was out of 5. Apologies, I duplicated this for the second question, so ignore that. You'd really only have to do the 3 questions. Okay, question 2 next. Okay, third question. Similar sort of problem. First of all, we've got to work out where it crosses there, where it crosses there. So where it crosses the x-axis, remember, y, which is that, will be equal to 0, which will give me x minus 3 equal to 0. So x equals 0 or 3. Okay, I gave you 1 mark for that and 1 mark for working out the 2 bits. So I gave you 2 marks there. Okay, next bit we've got to write down our integral. Now remember, the bit above the x-axis is fine. Remember we said that's 3, that's 0. So between 3 and 4, we want x squared minus 3x dx. But then we know that bit's negative, so we have to subtract it. So between 0 and 3, I'm going to take that bit away. Okay. Again, you're going to get a mark for writing that. Next, integrating. Well, it's the same integral. So x cubed over 3 minus 3x squared between 3 and 4. Okay, minus this thing, same integral, between 0 and 3. So, for integrating, you get 1 mark. It's the same integral, so you're not going to get 2 marks for that. So, let's have a look at it. We've got to plug in our numbers now. So if I put 4 in there, I'm going to get 4 cubed over 3 minus 3 times 4 squared minus, put 3 in there, 3 cubed over 3 minus 3 times 3 squared minus, now remember it's minus, so that means it's going to be minus the top limit, so it's minus that again. And then because it's minus a minus, it would be plus. But if you're putting 0 in there, you just get 0 out, don't you? Because x times 0 is 0. Right, I gave you a mark for writing those down. Okay, if you work that out, you got... What did we get? Oh, yeah. It gives you 6 1/3 square units. If you work all that out, it gives you 6 1/3 square units. I think it was minus 8/3 plus 4.5 plus 4.5 plus 0. Yeah? Mark there for your final answer. Okay, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 6 altogether for that. Okay, in our fourth one, again, well, we've got two curves intersecting and we wanted the area between them, this area here. So remember, first of all, we need to know where these two cross. So let's put them equal to each other. If you multiply out x minus 1 squared, you get x squared minus 2x plus 1. Take everything to one side, you're going to get x squared minus 2x equals 0. Factorize it, x minus 2 equals 0, so x equals 0 or 2. That is going to be our limits, okay? Now, for putting the two equal to each other, I'll give you 1 mark, I'll give you another mark for tidying it up, and another mark for the two limits. So that's 3 marks for that bit. Now, if you remember, this is question 4, if you remember, we said it's got to be the top one, take away the bottom one. So the actual function we want to work out is going to be x minus 1 squared minus the 2x squared minus 4x plus 1, which is just the negative of what we had down here. So that's just 2x minus x squared. So that's the function we actually want to integrate. So I'm going to give you 1 mark for getting that one right. Then what we wanted, remember, was the integral between where they intersect, which is 0 and 2, of this thing. Okay, worth another mark there, I reckon. Right, integrating, that gives us x squared, because look, 2 divided by 2 is just 1, we don't put 1 in front of it normally, minus x cubed over 3 between 0 and 2. Again, mark for doing that. That gives you, putting 2 in there, 2 squared minus 2 cubed over 3, minus, put 0 in there, you get 0. And finally, that's 4, take away 8 over 3. 8 over 3 is 2 2/3. 4 take away 2 2/3 is 1 1/3 square units. Don't need to worry about that because that's 0. And I gave you 1 mark for the final answer, giving you a grand total of 8 for that question. Remember, anytime you got two curves like that, you need to work out, first of all, where do they cross? Sometimes they'll tell you that, sometimes you got to work it out. In this one, you had to work it out. So this test in its entirety was out of 19.